there's been so much, I mean, Alien continues. Last night, by the way, Sigourney moderated an Alien Earth event. So I love that you embrace, and look, I've talked to all these young actors that talk about you, whether it's Catherine Waterston or Kaylee Spaney or Sydney Chandler. It must be lovely to connect with these folks that have kind of inherited the mantle, as it were, of female lead protagonist hero in the Alien saga.
Well, I loved Alien Earth. I mean, I liked Romulus too. You know, I think I guess for me, especially, and I met Sydney yesterday and some of the cast, I see myself because it's, even though the movie had no profile, it still is a big responsibility. And so my heart goes out to them, you know, and I think that's made, you know, now that the movies are so beloved, I think probably there may even be more pressure. But I'm thrilled to still be working at my age because I feel I have an opportunity as an older actor to bond with the younger actors and kind of, you know, I guess the message I would always like to send out is, don't worry so much. It's gonna be fine. Just hit your mark, say the lines, go for it, you know, and don't think about it after when you go home. Oh, I should have done this or that. Of course, everyone does that, but I really have faith in these young actors, and I think the cast of Alien Earth, the direction, everything else was just extraordinary, fascinating. And I was very glad to see that they didn't bring any of the creatures with them to the little seminar or whatever it was, because they might not be as nice as the actors.
The only people that love Galaxy Quest more than the fans, I think, are the actors. You all really seem to have a deep affection for the making of that film and how it turned out. And I know for you, part of the joy was playing against Ike, correct?
Well, I'm much closer to Tawny and Gwen than I am to Ripley. You know, I'm related to Gwen because she was, you know, a woman in Hollywood who was constantly being judged and evaluated by how she looked all the time and how she moved, how she looked in her costume, and I felt that was very accurate. So I really enjoyed playing her. When I first wanted to be in it, I was told, no, they don't want anyone who's ever done science fiction to be in this movie. And I thought, well, if anyone knows how to make fun of science fiction, it's the people who have been in these movies. And luckily, they changed directors, and so I got to be in it.
Are you still in principal game, given the material coming in the right way, or would this Alan's Lost make it a little unusual or not right?
I think it would have happened by now, but I did, at a certain point, they talked about Benedict Cumberbatch playing a version of Alan's part. It's very hard to come back to it without Alan there, because it's hard to tell from the film. Some of his scenes were cut because they weren't good for a they decided at the last minute it was a children's film because it was going to go up against Stuart Little. They cut some of Alan's great scenes, and I wish they put out a director's cut because those scenes are the best. Like, I got this call from John. I mean, you know, I don't want to be greedy and just eat franchises. But I got a call from Jon Favreau, whom I'm a great admirer of, and you know, we talked, and he said, just start watching the show. And I was, of course, amazed by it and fell in love with it. And Pedro and Grogu, I mean. Also, I love how the Star Wars universe it's not trying to pay off each movie with the whole backlog of movies. It's now, you know, individual stories set in the same universe. Ours is set in the Outer Rim. So I was thrilled. I was only on the set for a few days, but I was surrounded by all kinds of different creatures. I got a drink from someone with very different kind of head than I have.
Don't talk about Pedro Pascal that way. So you get to work with both Pedro and Grogu. Quality time with Mandalorian and Grogu.
You know, I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
Also lucky, I mean, to see you in that iconic costume, like the X-Wing pilot costume. Again, who would have thunk it? Amazing.
Not I. Yeah. It was a whole new world. So I feel very fortunate that I got to do that.
I mean, we've touched on only a small part of your career. I mean, there's obviously all the amazing non-quote-unquote genre work too.
You know, they're so utterly different. There's so much each director's vision that I don't have a favorite. I think that Jim Cameron wrote an extraordinary big part for a woman in those days.
Woo!
I'll always be grateful. Ridley Scott has always had very strong female roles too, and so I absolutely, and so I'm, you know, I've just been really lucky. The guys I've worked with really appreciate strong women, so I found a really good group.
Well,